Okay, we have here a different kind of video because I've already talked about La Robe du Futur as a series of it's a graphic memoir written by Riyad Sattouf, and I've so far there are 5 volumes out, and I've read them, and they're really fantastic. Maybe the best sort of graphic treatment of a story that I've ever read. I love it. So on the strength of my loving it so much, my wife has gotten it in English, although the French version does go so far to volume 5, and there'll be a volume 6 coming out. Apparently the English publisher is only going to stop at 4, which is insane, and they shouldn't do that, and it's very bad. But okay, that aside, that's not what this video is about. The video is about simply the thickness of the pages. So I talked before, many times in my videos, I'll look at a book and I'll say, oh, well, the thickness is okay, or it seems a little thin, or look how rich and thick it is, that kind of thing. And I just want to show you the difference, because I didn't really notice it before. But I remember when I got this book, this volume 4 is about twice as big as any of the other volumes. And I remember noticing that. And then when my wife's reading it, or she's reading in English, and I thought, oh gee, that one's not as big as I remember. And I went and checked, and the French is massively bigger, the French edition. I mean, first of all, it's a bit bigger on that side. It's a bit bigger basically in every dimension, but not just that, the thickness of the two books, the difference is just incredible. If you see what I'm saying here. And so at first I thought, well, okay, that's because French takes up more space than English, which is true. If you're going to translate from French to English, you often have to leave yourself a little more space. But that's not the case here, because this is a graphic memoir, which means that you really can't spill over into another page. If you have this many frames on this page and it takes more space to say the words, then you just have to make the boxes bigger or something. You have to take up maybe more space on the page, but you can't just spill over to another page. So if we can just take a page here, and I'll find the same page on the other one. Something like this. Let's see. Move this one over. Bear with me. Okay, so what we have here is the same page, but if one language takes more room, then you just have to have the box be bigger, which is what happens. See, this English is about this size, and then you come over here and the French takes up a little bit more space on the page. But what you can't do is have it spill over into another page. In other words, there are the same number of pages. So both of these books have the same number of pages, and yet one of them appears to be about twice as big as the other. And that is all coming down to page size. The thickness of the French edition, which maybe I commented on when I did my video on it, it's very thick, but not so thick that you can see it in a video, but it feels good and thick. The other one does not feel thin. It feels perfectly adequate, but it is definitely thinner. And that thinness over 300 pages really makes a difference. Okay, this is maybe all that's obvious. Hey, if you have a book with thicker pages, it's going to be a thicker book. But this one really struck me. It's not a massive book. It's a few hundred pages, but it really makes a difference. All right, that's it.